Hello everybody, it's Andrew here again, author of 500 Social Media Marketing Tips. Check out the link in the description to grab your copy today. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to handle Twitter customer complaints like a pro. And as a case study, we're going to use the UK bakery chain Greggs. The company has hundreds of stores up and down the country, and the way it handles customer complaints and queries on the platform is something that a lot of brands, both big and small, could learn a lot from. In this first example, Greggs answers a question which it gets asked all the time on Twitter, which is why it doesn't reheat their food. And having a scroll through the Twitter feed of Greggs, you can see that it keeps a preset response handy to reply quickly and easily to the people who ask this question. So if you're a company who has a question that your customers keep on asking, then it might be handy to keep a file with a preset response that you can paste in to reply to them. Perhaps you'll just want to tweak it a little bit to personalize it, but this should cut down on response times and impress your customers. In this next example, Greg reflects the relaxed tone of Twitter in its tone of voice. A lot of brands make the mistake of talking down to their customers on social media and not being kind of personable and human, and this is not something that Greggs does. So in this example, you can see that this customer is complaining that they had the worst cup of coffee ever from Greggs, just a big cup of misery, and Greg responds in this tone: "Oh no, could you send us some details to get in touch at Greggs.co.uk so we can get this fixed?" So they've got the "oh no" exclamation and the exclamation mark, and you can see that rather than reply in kind of a dry corporate tone, they've gone for this kind of genuine sounding conversational tone. And this seems to appeal a lot more to customers than the alternative. And that last example is complemented by this next one, which is Greggs' liberal use of emoticons. As we can see, this person is complaining that one of the items that Greggs sells is not in their particular area, and Greggs replies to apologize and says the demand wasn't high enough, and they finish with this sad emoticon. And once again, it just makes them more human and real rather than a faceless big company. In this next example, we see a case where Greggs realizes that it can't solve a customer service issue directly on Twitter, so rather than continue the conversation here, where there are 140 characters is restrictive, they offer the person an email address to get in touch with for them to investigate. This is particularly useful if a conversation between you and someone else is going to get nasty or abusive and something you really don't want to be in the public sphere, so try and redirect it, as Greggs does here, to email or telephone just somewhere off the site. And in this next example, we can see that Greggs doesn't just reply to complaints, but actually nearly all mentions of its username, and it does so with good charm and humour. So when this person says they're in love with their sausage rolls and asks for Greggs to be their Valentine, they have a little bit of banter and good conversation with them, and this really impresses the customer, makes them feel more loyal and closer to the brand, and hopefully will turn them into a continued repeat visitor. And Greggs doesn't just look for direct mentions of its username, it searches Twitter for any mention of the brand and responds to those too. So not everyone who wants to get in touch with you or has an issue with you is going to use your username, so they'll use a tool like TweetDeck to set up alerts for any mention of your brand and make sure you get in touch if the issue is pertinent. That's all for this time. I hope it helped. Don't forget to click subscribe for lots more social media marketing tips like this one, to give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and to check out the link to my book in the description below. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.